love a character in emotional turmoil. Hi, welcome back everybody. I hope everybody's having a good day. Before I get started, please like, subscribe, comment down below if you want to when you finish the video. This is going to be my Tarot Readathon Flexible TBR. It's going to be the first few book possibilities that I'm going to be reading. I do have the Tarot Readathon t-shirt on. I'll show you that in a minute. But if you didn't know, the Tarot Readathon is a team-based readathon. There are teams for all of these suits of the tarot, which is Cups, Wands, Swords, and Pentacles. If you're not familiar with the tarot, you don't need a tarot deck. You can use a generator online. And essentially what you do is you pull cards from the tarot, and each card of the tarot coincides with a prompt, and then you can log it and get points for that. There are other variations that you can do, but that is the basic setup for it. You can just do that the whole time if you don't want to get more complicated. This is my first year participating in this readathon. Last year I was scared. I thought it sounded a little too complicated for me at the time, and I wasn't on BookTube yet. So now here I am, and we're gonna try it. I decided to be on Team Cups because Deja, who is one of the runners of this readathon, that is her team, and I was on her team for Escape the Readathon, so I wanted to transfer all my friends over that I made in that Discord and continue on with Deja and her team. I think a lot of scientists from Escape are moving on over to Cups. And so my team is the Cups, and this is our 3-card spread. This is essentially you draw 3 cards and then you have like different powers and things you can do in that order. But you don't have to use this, but I'm going to try this out today and see how I feel about it. This readathon, before I forget, is also run by Noelle, but I will put that down below. And then our Cups team leaders are Deja from Deja's Book World, Gavin from Gavin Reads It All, and Kel Sweetie. I will link all their channels down below for you, as well as Deja's video explaining the readathon, and also Noelle's channel, which is Noelle Sunday. She is not going to be a team leader or participating in the readathon, but she is the one compiling all the points and everything. So she's doing all the numbers work behind the scenes. So I'll link her down below as well. Also, Deja designed some t-shirts and some bookmarks. I'll put a picture of the bookmarks up here. Mine aren't in yet, but they should be in tomorrow or the next day. And so I'll show you the t-shirt. Bring you down here where it's not so bright. This is the front. And then, who knows if you're going to be able to see this well, because I can't see myself. And this is the back. Super cute, super comfy. So that's all the explanation out of the way. I'm hoping to do weekly vlogs. We'll see if it actually happens, but that is the plan for the month. So for those of you who like my TBR temp vlogs, where I read books that I really want to read, my hot books, books that I don't really want to read, my cold books, and books that are mid, I'm kind of tepid on. For my physical TBR, I'm going to try to do a combo with that at some point this month. That's the plan anyway, where I pick a card and then I try to match, and then I spin a wheel to see what color book I need to get, a hot, tepid, or cold book. And I try to pick a book from my TBR corresponding with the colors, as well as the prompts. I don't know how it's gonna go, but we shall see. Let's get started. I'm going to draw 3 cards and put them on my spread. I think I already shuffled, but I'm gonna cut the deck. And my first card is the Knight of Pentacles. And this is from a Crow Tarot card deck because I love crows. So this is the first one. I'm gonna put it on my first spread, and then I'm going to grab the next one, and it is the Hierophant. And I don't know what the prompts are yet, so I will find out together in just a second. And that is my second one. And for my last card is the Knight of Cups. So interesting. I got 2 knights and one of like the named cards. That's interesting. Wasn't expecting that, but I do love a tarot deck because they're so pretty. So these are the 3 from my first spread: Knight of Pentacles, the Hierophant, and the Knight of Cups. So for my first, it's the Knight of Pentacles, And I'm going to look at what the prompt is for that. But if I don't want to do that prompt, I can do an alt prompt that matches the card's main emotion up to interpretation. So that's an alternative. So I can just do the prompt that corresponds with this card, or I can do a book that evokes the emotion or meaning of the card. So you have to bear with me on this one because it's my first time. So this is the Knight of Pentacles. And let's see. So Pentacles, Knight. Read a book you've been saving for the right time. Okay. I think that sounds good. So for that, like I said, it's read a book you've been saving for the right time, right? Because it was Pentacles? Yes. So let's see if I can find a book that I've been saving for the right time. I think I'm going to grab a couple of different options. So for this, I have 3 options. I was thinking maybe Middle Game by Shannon McGuire because this is Allie's book club pick, and I have been haven't read this book in so long, even though I've been wanting to. And Allie's going to read it this month, or it's not a book club pick. It's her special patron random book. We all submit a random book for her to read, and she randomly picks one, and this is the one that she picked. So maybe I'll read it this month. Maybe it's the right time I've been waiting for. This is Summer Reading by Jen McKinley. This is a contemporary romance. This author is actually coming to my library in the next few weeks, so I should probably read something that she has published because I haven't read anything from her. My friend is a fan. She wanted to go, so I decided, okay, I will try her out and go with you. Either way, I'm going to go with her, but this way I'll know if I want to buy a book to get signed. And then Practice Makes Perfect, because I needed a word with make or maker or making for Kayla's May challenge to read the books for her buzzword challenge for Kayla from Books and Lala's buzzword challenge. And I didn't get to it in May, so I want to make sure I get to this in June or sometime soon because I want to make sure I complete all the challenges for the buzzword this year. So I didn't do the alternative one, and you don't have to do anything with the card spread if you don't want to, as a reminder. So this is the Hierophant. This is in space 2, and it says choose a book that matches this card's prompt or swap to the king or queen from the card's suit. Well, that doesn't apply here because this is the Hierophant, right? So I can't swap this one. So let's see what the prompt for the Hierophant is. I printed mine out, so I don't have to go on my phone every time. And the Hierophant is read a book passed down / recommended to you. All right, so I'm gonna get some options for the Hierophant, and I'll be right back. Trying to find ones that were recommended to me. Okay, for this, I pulled 3 options. These are just options. These may not be what I read this month. It just all depends on how I'm feeling. But I do have to read for this prompt. A book was passed down or recommended to me. I'm going to use recommended on YouTube because I cannot find any books that were really passed down to me other than used books that I bought that were previously from somebody else but weren't necessarily passed down. So these are all books that I got recommended on YouTube. This is Woo Woo by Ella Baxter. This is Sarah from Wicked Reading, was the one who I heard about this from. She also wrote New Animal, I think is the name of her other book. I really liked that one, so New Animal. So I wanted to try out this one as well. She writes weird lit fic, so I'm excited to hear about this one. And this is a thrilling and eccentric novel about what it means to make art as a woman and about the powerful forces of voyeurism, obsession, and online performance. I know, I'm not going to really tell you too much about what these are about. Maybe I should. I don't know. And then Honeysuckle was also a recommendation. Sarah might have read this. I haven't watched her full vlog yet where she mentioned it, but Allie from All I Do Is Read also read this and really liked it, and I really liked the cover, so I picked it up. So it was a recommendation from Allie on YouTube, and this is I believe a dark fairy tale horror book about a boy who's lonely, so his sister makes him a plant girl, but once she's built, she looks like a human. And then it's about autonomy and bodily autonomy and things like that as they get older and grow up together. And then the last one I grabbed was The Goblin Emperor, which I recommended to me by Fall Into Steph, or also, who else did I hear about this from? Oh, Elliot Brooks also I've heard about this one from, so I grabbed these 3. But really I have so many books that are recommended on YouTube, so I could use a lot of books for that. And my last one is The Knight of Cups. And this was in the 3rd position on my 3-card spread. So that means that if I wanted to, I could give the prompt to a friend and have them personally recommend me a book and read that book. That would be for extra points for my team. But for right now, we're going to just pick books from the prompt. So this is Cups, Knight of Cups. Read a book with a character going through emotional turmoil. All right, I know I've got books for that. I love a good I love a good emotional turmoil. I love a character in emotional turmoil. All the books I own. I'm making a bit of a mess of my bookshelves, but that's okay. It's all right. I have a few options here. This is Right by Sarah Rose Etter. I've heard good things about this one. It's a weird horror lit fic book about a woman going through depression. When Casey winds up unexpectedly pregnant and her CEO's demands go from unethical to illegal, this hovering embodiment of her anxiety and depression threatens to consume her horizon. So yes, definitely in turmoil. This one might hit very close to home for me because I've definitely dealt with some depression in my life. Tell Me I'm Worthless. This is definitely emotional turmoil. This is a queer horror lit fic, I believe. I'm not sure exactly what this is about. It says it holds a gruesome mirror up to the way it feels to live now. I absolutely tore through this book. A dark, unflinching haunted house novel that takes readers from the well of the literary Gothic up through Brighton's queer scene and out into the heat of the modern day trans experience. I think this is written by a trans woman. Yes, trans woman. So that'll be good for the month of June as well, as it's Pride Month. Also written by a trans woman is A Game in Yellow by Haley Piper. I know this is about a lesbian couple where one woman is not really interested in sex anymore, and then they read this play and it's supposed to make you uber sexual or something, and then they start to go insane. I think that's what this is about. Eric LaRocca says it's written with the provocativeness of a Lynchian fever dream. Okay? From the new queer queen of cosmic horror comes a seductive work that follows a couple whose search to keep their sex life alive leads them down a path of madness. Emotional turmoil, I would call that. And then this is the one that first came to mind since I've been wanting to get to this and I still haven't gotten to it. You Are Meant to Be Human by Andrew Joseph White, who happens also to be a trans author, trans man this time. And this is about a cult who worship this mass of bugs, like worms, I think. And a trans man becomes pregnant and obviously doesn't want to be pregnant, doesn't want to have the baby, wants to have an abortion, but their partner convinces them to have the baby because the cult wants the baby. I heard this is very bleak and depressing and hard to read. However, that's the object of this card. Emotional turmoil. This is probably the one I'm going to read unless I'm not in the right place for whatever reason to read it. But I think this one will fit nicely with that prompt for sure. And I've been meaning to get to it. So I think I'm going to read that one. Now I'm trying to decide if I want to draw a few more or if I want to just wait. Yeah, so you know what? I think I'm just gonna stop there. I have those 3 and I will edit this video, and then as I go, so this will be for the first probably week, maybe even less than that since I'm a pretty quick reader, and then I'll draw another 3 or 1 at a time in my vlogs because I think that'll be more fun. So for that, this will be the end of this video. I hope you liked it. It's a pretty short one for me, so there's that. I hope you enjoyed this little shorty patorty video. If you did, please like, subscribe, comment down below, all those things, and I will see you next time. Have a great day. Bye.